I think I'd like to ask you a little bit about, kind of straight out here, Obama. Is he the Antichrist? What's going on here?
Very interesting story. Now, I think they are trying to make it out as if he is the Antichrist. Now, here is a president that drives around in a limo called the Beast. Now, when you start to look into his name, this is where it truly gets interesting. And I covered some of this in the lecture, but I hadn't found the clue to Obama yet. Now, when we look into his name, Barack Hussein Obama, or just Barack Obama, you take that into your Strong's biblical dictionary, and you look up the words that, so I covered Obama and Lucifer, and when you look into the concept of Lucifer, then you will find that he is a composite character, that Christians will select certain phrases out of different text and then compile this to say this is the story of Lucifer. Mm-hmm. Because if you look into Lucifer, you'll find that there is no story of Lucifer. It's in Isaiah, and it's in reference to King Nebuchadnezzar, mm-hmm. who was Saddam Hussein reincarnated, right?
Right.
So when you start to look into the story of Lucifer, you have to take these phrases and then put the composite together. So one phrase would be, and Satan fell like lightning from the heights of heaven, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other one, O Lucifer, how thou hast fallen, right, in Isaiah. And that phrase in Isaiah, using the word Lucifer, is the first time the word Lucifer has ever been used, is in the King James Bible. Prior to the King James Bible, the word Lucifer does not exist. Zephyros, Phosphoros, things of this nature, but not Lucifer. Now, Lucifer is Venus, when you look it up in the dictionary, or a friction match. So when we start to get the idea of Lucifer, we've got this composite using these phrases, and so we have, and Satan fell like lightning from the heights of heaven. Well, the word Barak in Hebrew is lightning. Mm-hmm. The word Ba-ma is from the heights or from the heavens. And the use of a O, U, or V, which in Hebrew would actually be a V, but you can transliterate to O or U, means from. So the very name Barack Obama means lightning from heaven, lightning from the heights. And this is the very description of Satan.
And that's the kind of the Kabbalistic version of this, or interpretation of this, and that to me even more kind of confirms the idea that the Bible is more of a blueprint. I mean, I personally come from the perspective that the Bible actually isn't prophetic as such. It actually is the fact that our leaders and those in charge of the world, pretty much the geopolitical scene and the occult scene, are trying to play out what is in the Bible here on earth at this time, it seems like. I don't know, what's your take on that, Freeman?
I agree with you completely. It is a grimoire. It is an ancient grimoire of magic that is being used to bring about something. You know, the understanding of this is beyond most of our knowledge. Even Jesus would tell people, look, I tell them this, but I tell the disciples what it really means. But then again, I probably aren't telling you the truth either. I'm only giving you as much food as you can handle, right? So there is an inner doctrine within here. When you start to discover that the Bible is actually a numerical code, we're starting to think about time-traveling AI. And this is where my theories are going now. Because, you can take the Bible, stick it in a computer, and it opens up a code. And if you can take it to another level, put it in a three-dimensional, then you get this Bible code, as they've been talking about. And being able to decipher different words, different phrases that come from skipping numerical letters, going from this to that. But the Bible itself is a mathematical equation, and therefore it's, to me, more high-tech than godly. So I agree with you on that level.
Well, that's an interesting point. And also, if we take into consideration all the councils, all the ecumenical councils that's taken place, it literally means that the Bible also has taken about 1,500 years or so to actually write. That means that it's a pretty elaborate book that they put together there,
Yes, it's pretty incredible. There's no doubt about that. My problem always with the Bible is when people come into interpretation, without looking to see what they really, everyone knows the story of Lucifer falling from heaven, being the most beloved angel of God, but I say go find that for me in the Bible and show it to me. You know, we get these stories and we believe they're real, and then they're not even in the Bible.
Right. But do you think that they're trying to actually create the story? It's almost like it's not a thing of the past, but almost a thing of the future, or at least kind of in one way than happening right now, if you know what I mean.
Yes. And it was Dante and Milton that really composed the whole story of Lucifer as Satan. And so they're actually from the mystery schools, you know, the whole concept. But we know that these people are Luciferians because I can outline in database all of the Luciferian connections and symbology in this story. So that's when we start to come to understandings of who the Luciferian are, you know, and what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that they are pretty much in charge in that sense of civilization and the globe and where things are heading right now?
Yes, my personal opinion is that these type of people, the Luciferian type, those that want, now what it is those that want control, right? And that's a Luciferian idealism. So money is a Luciferian idealism. So when you have this power to say, I want this and I can have it, then you have no gratitude because you have now used a magic spell. You've used your power to take this thing. You have not been gifted it by a divine presence. And so this is where the usurpation comes from our divine selves. We are removed from our divine connection, and we now believe we have the power. And that was the power that these magicians, sorcerers, as I call them, have used against us. Prior, they used the great gods who were themselves, and then they used religion and now money, and then it'll be going to our chip, as you can see through the different examples of the giant buildings in town. So the pyramids, of course, were the first, and then the churches were the next biggest, and then the banks surpassed that, and now you'll see that the cell phone companies surpassed the banks. So these are representations of what power controls at this time. And the Luciferian idealism is that you control reality. And so we have lost all sense of gratitude, and we now believe we are the dominant force in the universe. And this is what created civilization. So civilization was Luciferian to begin with, and that's why it begins with a control structure. And that's one of the biggest obstacles we have right now, is to convince people that civilization is not the outcome of human endeavor. It's not simply what humans did. We were guided, and we have been guided throughout time to create the civilization that we have. So really, the humans on planet Earth are the manifestations, or the manifest power. And the elite, or the sorcerers, are the ones that program us to manifest what they need. And that's really what has happened.
And they program us in many different ways. One way to do this is that, or what we know is that the unconscious mind picks up on things, whether they're being reversed, mirrored, upside down, diagonal, what have you. And if we talk about the power of backward masking and the idea of yes, we can, we find a pretty interesting thing, don't we?
There's no doubt about that. You know, and you'll even see in my film on the Obama cloning and the coming space war that the editor took me saying, "Thank you, Satan," which is what you get when you reverse "yes, we can." And he took me saying, "Thank you, Satan," and it says, "Yes, we can."
Yeah.
So it works in both forward and backwards. And I did just put up a new music video to this, and it's called the Obama Satanic Youth. I haven't posted it anywhere, but you can search it and just put in YouTube Obama Satanic Youth and check out the little song I did, because I took the children that were singing the Obama Youth song and I reversed it. So now all the kids are singing, "Thank you, Satan, 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 thank you, Satan." And then I throw in Obama in the chorus, you know, going, "Thank you, Satan." But yeah, you know, it's this type of thing. Now, what's really curious is just recently I found a poster from World War II where they were trying to get the women involved in the war. And, of course, the big splash on the top was, "Yes, we can." And it's showing the woman, you know, with the raised fist. And this was put out by Westinghouse, who has been one of the major players in keeping us in the dark, as it were. I mean, they gave us light, but they made sure we weren't getting it for free.
That's right. Huh.
So... yeah, the "yes, we can," and many of the connections that I've been finding throughout the Obama administration connecting to the world wars, and which is why I'm certain World War III is right around the corner.
Okay, really? And how do you think that will play itself out then? I mean, we couldn't I mean, if they are to utilize everything that are in their arsenals and whatnot, we're talking about nuclear war and whatnot. It's going to be pretty much over.